Hey all, my name is Kurt. I'm here with Trenton. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. And today, Trenton, we're kind of doing a distillery review, I guess. I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt out there concerning this RD1 Amburana finish.
And we did review that at some point. I think we
did we group it into
into one of those videos we do where we try some new stuff that we get.
Yeah.
This is the first distillery review we've done in a minute. I don't remember what the last one we did.
Yeah, it has been in a while, and this is kind of a new startup company, I guess. From what I looked up, it was a little bit confusing, but I kind of get their vision, I suppose.
Listen, I don't read a lot, and when I do, I usually don't comprehend what I read. I just look at the words and I can sound them out loud.
That sounds like back in school.
It does. I still do that now.
I can imagine.
It was started in 2020, and it sounds like they mentioned the old William Tarr Distillery, but they don't specific. They said there was one building left, a music hall, bonded warehouse, one I think it was, but it doesn't actually say that they're in it. It just mentions it. Yeah. It's kind of hand wavy. So I'll put the link in the description to like the history section. Okay. It's like a chapter book. There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. Well, I also read a little bit, and from what I understand, that whole William Tarr, the Ashland Distillery, whatever it was called, it was more of a visionary thing for the company here.
Okay.
They do have their hands. They're in somewhat of a partnership in a $30 million startup distillery somewhere in, was it in Lexington?
Yeah, they're in Lexington, Kentucky. Yep.
Yeah, in Lexington, Kentucky. But all we know as far as today is on the back. It says
on the back. Yep.
It says bottled by.
Yeah. So
RD1, registered 1 distillery, right?
Registered RD1, registered 1. What?
That's what it stands for.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, registered Distillery 1. Okay.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
there you go.
I was a little bit off, but yeah.
I was wondering what RD actually stood for.
Well, there you go. Now you know. Trent and I almost forgot, but we have a live stream coming up this Friday, 8 p.m. Central Time. We can't forget that because this one's going to be a doozy.
Get ready. I think if
it's going to be wild.
Kent's not going to be up here. It's going to be me because we've been doing the blinds and stuff.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is if I win the blind, Kurt's going to shave his head, and I'm just going to. And if I lose, I'm just going to go home, and it'll be fine. No. I'll have a brownie or two, and we'll be good to go. So
I thought you always told me blinds there's no winners and losers. You've always said that.
Not this time.
Now all of a sudden there is.
Not this time.
What?
Friday at 8 p.m. Central. Yep. Kent will be the
officiator,
the referee.
The officiator.
We'll get him like a nice referee jersey and everything.
That'd be funny, yeah.
And he's gonna. I don't even know what he's got planned.
Does
he even know that he's doing it yet?
He is. I did talk to him last week in Golf League, and he knows that he's in charge.
All right. Well,
so
we'll see you then, I guess.
We'll be blind tasting all the winners of our Friday blind tasting series. So don't miss it. It's going to be a great time. So anyways, long story short, they are sourcing at the moment, and in hopes one day they'll be producing their own.
All right.
That's kind of the way I look at it. So I thought it would be great to have all of them up on the bar top that they have. They got 4 releases. Mm-hmm. And we'll include this Amburana again because it's been a hot topic.
It has been.
Yes, it has.
I don't know what these other 3 are.
Yeah, well, you're going to find out over here on your left, but we'll get started over there first. I kind of lined them up per proof is what I did. Okay. That's just their Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Oh, I thought they did all finishes. Okay.
All the rest of them are.
Okay.
But this one's just a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This one here is roughly about $60. That's what I paid for it. And it is 98 proof. All the bottles do mention that the whiskey is aged for 4+ years.
Okay.
That's all I know there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, it smells pretty good.
You know, I have to admit, I poured these, about 10, 15 minutes ago. It smells pretty good up here.
Yeah, it actually does.
At the bar. It's got that nice, distillery smell to it.
Am I bleeding up here still?
No, did you whack yourself? You got a nice knot going on up there, though.
No, yeah, that's a pimple.
Oh, wow.
I gave it a little pop-a-rooney before we started.
Why would you mention that? I just don't get it.
Well, it was bugging me. It felt like fresh. It felt like it was ready, so
Well, I'm happy for you, I guess.
Yeah. All right, this is weird, though. Because it's smelling pretty sweet. Not like not like an oaky, not a char kind of thing.
No, it's smelling pretty sweet.
It's honestly almost kind of like
a little light
Bowman.
syrupy sweet, some caramel for sure.
Bowman
Very light brown sugar. A lot of sweet notes, not a lot of oak notes.
So I'd be curious if this is, because you can contract distill, right? Where you would go up to like, Bardstown is doing a lot of this right now, Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Yes.
You could go up to them and be like, hey, here's our mash bill. We want to have 300 barrels a year, and then we'll age them. So I don't know if your contract distilling, if you can say distilled by yourself because you gave the recipe. I don't know, probably not.
Probably not, because it would be listed on
Yeah.
the bottle if that was the case. And as per now, it just says bottled by.
Okay,
So,
yeah. It smells good though.
It does. Ooh.
What?
That first sip of the day always gets me.
At 98 proof, you need to warm up before these videos.
I do. I just never think about it, to be quite honest with you. I just don't.
I'm not mad about it for $60. We have had, I'm sure, plenty of not so great products that are 4-year age stated or less for a higher proof point.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I think it's pretty sweet. I think the
Very sweet.
the nose, the palate follows through with the nose.
I'm gonna give this a name. I'm gonna call it like a flavor cliff, where during the sip or the experience of the sip, you're going to it, and then the flavor's like here, and then it just kind of falls off.
Drops off for you.
What I like though is that this is pretty oily.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's thin by any means. It's like, I don't know if it's because it's the first sip or not, but I'm like, my tongue has a coating on it, and it feels like it's from that.
I think it's pretty decent. I mean, I know it's $60, and I get that. That's not expensive in today's world of bourbon releases, but nor is it cheap by any stretch. So it's a good nickel. There's a lot of competition in that price range with some pretty great bourbon out there. But if you like a sweet bourbon with zero barrel char or oak dominance, this is one of them.
What I have to say I appreciate and commend RD1 for is they're taking, a lot of distilleries, or some distillers, I shouldn't say a lot, take a really important part of bourbon history or whiskey history, culminate it into this nice marketing experience, and then just put juice in there that doesn't really hold up to what you're paying for.
True.
This, you're getting a 4-year. It might not be super old, but for a 4-year with the story behind it and also what you get, I had to commend them that it's not $100 or more.
No.
Especially because this is a custom bottle design, and I know having custom glass made is also not cheap.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So good job on this one. I like it.
I think it's pretty decent. I do. Let's move on to the next one, pal. This one here, I don't know why the proof point is what it is, but it's 99.9 proof.
Okay.
I know you really wanted 100 proof here, but you're not going to get it. You're going to get 99.9. This bottle here is $65, and this is their same bourbon, okay, but finished in oak and maple barrels. Okay, so not just maple barrels, oak and maple. I'm not familiar, and maybe we've tasted a few maple barrel finishes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever seen any, and if you all know, let us know in the comments. I don't think I've seen any where it was finished in oak and maple barrels.
I don't think so.
So this is kind of a
there's
dual finish here.
Widow Jane Decadence. What else maples?
Yeah, there's some. I mean,
you have a couple over there.
Yeah, there's a couple over there. But regardless.
Wow, that is that's like you're in IHOP.
That's no doubt. That's pecan heaven.
It is.
That's pecan pie. I love pecan pie.
I know you do. I can imagine this is like a nice tall stack of pancakes at an IHOP with like a...
Yeah.
It's giving me kind of like a fall vibe a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's because we just crossed over that fall line, so my mind's kind of there already.
No, there's no doubt. And to me, that is legit straight up pecan pie.
Does it say how long it's been finished in any of these?
I don't know. It does not say on the label. Several months. In the reading, I saw several months.
Okay.
Beautiful nose, though. I will grant it that.
That is really... Ooh, whoa. That's nuts. Like, actually, that's... It tastes like nuts. Maple... Like candied pecan, like with maple syrup.
That is...
I don't know how to say it.
That nose I was describing, the aromas with the pecan pie, legit. On the palate, minus a little of the sweetness of a pecan pie. Trent's not lying there. That is a lot of nut flavors in there, primarily pecan. You get a little, the maple I don't think is dominant in the flavor profile. It's that pecan note.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, I like nuts, but it's a little too heavy for me on that pecan or like whatever's happening there.
Uh-huh.
I really like it. It's sweet.
Sure.
This would be a good bourbon for somebody that like wants to get into finishes or is not a huge bourbon drinker. This would be like a good intro.
Right.
I'll say it could have benefited from like 100 proof or more. 99.9 proof just isn't cutting it for me. Add another 0.1 proof, I think would be perfect.
I kind of like the idea of the addition of the oak barrels here. I think that's what lends to the different flavors that are in there, because usually primarily with a maple finish, it's just a lot of sweetness in there.
Yeah.
There's only one that I've truly tasted where the bourbon stands true and the maple finish is fantastic. And of course, that's the Decadence, the Widow Jane Decadence. A lot of the other ones are a little too sweet. This one kind of, the sweetness is tamed down with that pecan note, and I think they did a good job with that. $65.
You might not be surprised, but for me, it's a little sweet. Mm-hmm. If it was a little proofier, I think it could knock down that pecan note a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's not like that pecan front and center isn't necessarily my vibe, but it's a solid effort. I think it is
a little on the sweeter side. If you like a sweet bourbon, that's one for you right there. Let's move on to the next one, Trent. This one is finished in French oak.
That's one of my favorite.
Another one that I paid $65 for. So, it's pretty.
The prices, even if they're finished, are pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree. So this one though bumped up. It's 101 proof. Bumped up a little.
This is also a 4-year finished.
Correct.
Or is it like 2-year?
They're all 4-year finished. Yep, they're all 4-year finished. And this is $65. $65. Now the Kentucky Straight Bourbon was $60.
Okay.
So this one's finished in French oak.
Usually you pay quite a bit more for a finish, $5. I think that's pretty good price.
I so far I don't think the pricing, this one okay, but some of these finishes here so far, we'll see what this French oak has to offer. But for $65, I really thought that was a pretty good offering.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get a whole lot. Oh, you just went for it. I didn't get a whole lot on the nose in this one, honestly. Oak, that's kind of it.
I apologize, I kind of skipped the nose, but
yeah, you did.
For me, with French oak, Trenton, I normally get bakery notes.
I get
with French oak, the vanilla,
bit,
brulee, bakery notes of some sort, both on the nose and on the palate.
Man, I'm getting like
it's a little lighter. There's some vanilla in there.
There is. I'm getting kind of like a walnut or something, like another kind of nut. I don't know if there's just so much nuttiness in this it's kind of carrying over, but there's something in it. It's not a traditional French oak finish like I've had from like a Nulu. I like their or their French oak finish. Interesting. I think there's this French oak staves though. I could be wrong. Still on the nose, I'm not getting a whole lot. I have to be honest. Mm-hmm. I'm not really getting a whole lot from this one.
Yeah, I'm not either, per se. I'm getting hints of what I usually would come up with a French oak. But you got to search for it. You got to look for it. And I'm like training my brain now to try to identify a vanilla or a brulee or a bakery note there in there somewhere. And I get a tiny bit, but it's a little weak. Not
only... It is kind of weak, but also I get like a lingering... It's almost reminiscent of like a rye spice to me. Or like some kind of bitterness, but not a whole lot of bitterness. And that might be what's killing the finish at the end for me. Because all I'm getting, like my tongue feels fuzzy right now. And there's something about it that I'm just not getting a whole lot of from this one. Definitely my least favorite so far. But still for the price, I mean... It's a good price. I wouldn't buy another one of these though.
No, I'd have to say so far that's my least favorite of the list so far. Okay, let's get into this Amburana.
The people's most favorite, apparently.
Well, yeah, apparently, and a lot's being talked about it, and we have tasted it. It is pretty fantastic. 110 proof, and according to Harry, it's for sale at B's Liquor for $65. I say that because I did see online on their website, $80. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but
Well, you gotta love the price.
if you're around Hobart,
variations in
Indiana, if you're around Hobart and you see Harriet B's Liquor, they have this on the shelf. And all these are on the shelf. I'm not sure, that you probably don't know what their distribution is, do you?
No.
Yeah.
I'd have to assume, like, usually it's when a distillery first starts and they're sourcing, they go from like Kentucky, sometimes the neighboring states, but a lot of it's like Illinois for Binny's, Florida, Texas, California for like Total Wines and larger stores.
Gotcha.
I'd have to imagine they were there already, but these are in Indiana pretty regular.
Yeah, they're on the shelf. All of these are right on the shelf all the time. So 110 proof, Trenton, $65 here in our area.
I mean, it's like the milk
good.
after you have a Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't.
It is, but I get the introduction here of apple notes.
Really?
Too, like a spiced apple with that cinnamon. Like a
like
cinnamon
Apple Jacks?
baked apple that you put in the oven.
You do that? People do that?
I do not. I'm not a fan, but my mom used to do that
You
quite
can't.
a bit.
Cooked apples are nasty, dude.
Yeah.
You like cooked apples?
No, I don't.
Disgusting.
I personally don't. Again, my mom used to. It's the smell.
Oh,
though. I
Granny.
remember the smell. Oh, Grammy, she did it. You darn know that.
I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch when I was a kid quite a bit. I was really into those like sugary cereals, but I never drank the milk. I would just dump it down the sink. I know, incredibly wasteful, and I'm sure I'm going to get roasted for that, but I never drank the milk ever after anything. Cocoa Pebbles, I don't care if it was chocolate milk, strawberry milk, apple milk, I don't care. I dumped it down the drain.
That's half the reason why I quit eating cereal, because I could never have one bowl. I just keep adding cereal to the bowl until the milk's gone.
That's a dangerous road to go down.
That's what I do. That's exactly what I do.
Especially when you get like a Reese's Puff that's just like...
That's disgusting.
I don't like those.
Reese's Puffed cereal.
Best cereal, hands down, Mini Wheats.
Well, whatever.
Or Raisin Bran. Tell me I'm wrong.
Weird.
I'm not. What?
That's just not right.
What's your favorite cereal?
I don't even know. I don't eat cereal really, but there's that. What's that one that has the...
Don't tell me it's Grape Nuts.
Oh, Lord, no. The ones that have the Raisin Bran with the nuts in them or whatever that is.
Are they like the coated?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Those are pretty good. I like those.
Yeah, that's right. I really don't eat cereal, though, so I don't know.
I feel like a lot of these have like a pecan note in them. Even with this one. On the nose, it's very cinnamony, cereal-y. But on the palate, there's some pecan in there.
I have to say this is really good, though. I do get the apple note on the palate as well. Of course, I get the cinnamon toast crunch note from the Amburana. But I will say this about this particular bottle. I believe, personally, this is the most balanced Amburana release that I think I've ever had, because the bourbon kind of shines through on this one, too.
Okay.
I like it when the bourbon kind of stands true in any kind of a finish.
Okay.
Some of the other ones that I've had, which I think are, they're entertaining and they're okay, but the Amburana finish or that cinnamon toast crunch is like, that's it. I mean, it is front and center. This one has a few more things going on, in my opinion.
Well, it's okay to be wrong. I mean, it's good. I like it. I prefer the ASW Amburana, and I said this in the previous video when we featured this bottle too. You've had this for a while. Is this the one that we reviewed when we put it in that thing? I feel like it's opened up quite a bit.
Yeah, and 110 proof. I can't tell it's 110 proof.
Is that really?
110 proof.
I thought it was 100.
So it drinks under its proof a little bit too. It's very smooth.
For me, I'm learning with Amburana, however the heck you want to say it. For me, it needs to be quite a bit proofy and also drink proofy, because I don't know what it is about it, but there's like this dusty barkiness or something in my throat after I drink it. It's not off-putting. It's just like I wish it wasn't lingering around as much. And the burn, for me, for a higher proof Amburana finish, kind of helps mellow that out a little bit.
All right. No, I like it a lot. I think it's the best Amburana I've had, personally. But you know what? Hey, we can stack them up to the other ones.
We should do an Amburana finish show at some point. Once I'm sure a bunch of places are going to start cooking some out. So we'll, if you want to see an Amburana show, I know it's a love-or-hate relationship.
Yes, it is.
I'd be interested in doing one.
Yeah.
What's your order here? What are you buying again? What are you not buying again?
Be careful. Those are my samples, man. Be careful. Good people sent me a lot of those samples, man.
You need to move these.
Well, as I just spoke, Trent, this has to be my number one. And if Harry's got it for sale for $65, I truly think that's a great buy.
It's a good buy.
That's my opinion. If you can get it for that. Past that, I was really digging this this maple one here.
Really?
I really love that pecan stuff, and I know it's a little sweet, so I'm not going to argue that point. And if you watch the show very much at all, you know Trenton is kind of gets into things that are not quite as sweet to where I get into things that are a little bit more sweet. So that doesn't probably surprise anybody, but I was digging this one. I'd probably have to go without a doubt with the Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, and then this French Oak just didn't offer a whole lot for me.
I would go with the Straight Bourbon number one.
Wow, that is surprising to me.
Yeah,
all right.
Me too, especially for being 98 proof.
Okay.
It drinks like you can tell that it's not a proof. It doesn't drink above its proof, below its proof. It's like it's right there. But I think
that's worth doing the show right there.
I know. I think they did a good job. Second, I would go with the Amburana. Third, this was just a little too sweet for me. The flavors are there. Yeah. I could see why people might like this if they pick it up.
Yep.
And then this, honestly, I didn't really get much of anything in there.
Unfortunately,
kind of a bummer. But they're not all going to be hitters.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job for the lineup that they have.
In general, though, I think they came out strong.
I think so.
You know, for a startup company, I think these are good efforts.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think they came out ready to hunt some bear.
That.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, that's all we got for you today. Let us know in the comments what you think of RD1. You know, our opinion, I think they're coming along pretty well. All right, as always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time, right down here with Trent and I in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.